So Tired. If you guys don't know, So Tired is like literally Tim's like biggest record right now. It's insane. It's like 2 million on YouTube. It's
2 million,
you know, almost 1 million on Spotify. Like crazy, crazy. And you know what's even crazier too? And this moment just happened off camera before the show. He went on live real quick on TikTok, which I told you the live is. I mean, that's crazy. And shout out to the homie that was on there because he was from LA. So shout out to that guy. I hope he sees this podcast and he hears this because it's just cool, man. Like it's when So Tired to kind of come off the content. Well, I'm going to come back to the content stuff because I want to talk a few more things, but just about So Tired specifically because that's a song we dropped. You know, what, more than a year ago now at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah. So to see like what a song can do and get to a certain place and like the residual effects of that, we've seen that with So Tired. You know what I mean? And that's like the crazy part of like having a record and then it just like goes. You know what I mean? And then you know you go on to if you guys go on to TikTok and look at the TikToks, like any So Tired TikTok we post has you know the stitches or whatever, like the compilations with like the fans and stuff. It's like it's just crazy to see that, bro. Like crazy to see, you know, like people just react to a song, you know.
Well, and you take something like So Tired, you break it down, right? And what I've heard people resonate with the most is the fact that when I start the song off, I say, I don't want to feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
So many people are in that place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's probably something you couldn't even put numbers to.
No.
So it's one of those things where it's like you have a group of people that are feeling things that they don't want to feel, which is normal.
Yeah.
It's normal for each and every one of us. And we have feelings every day, every moment of every hour that sometimes are uncomfortable. Sometimes it's great.
Yeah.
You know, but unless you got the right prescription, it's not all the time.
Exactly.
And even with that, it falls off.
Of course it does, you know. Of course.
So I think that's the biggest thing for me is, you know, I see so many people, just like this gentleman we just spoke to.
Yeah.
He said, man, I relate to this song so much because I feel this every day. I don't want to feel this way.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
That's huge for someone to, first off, to reach out to another man, a man reach out to another man and say, hey, bro, the way you're feeling is the way I'm feeling. That's epic.
That's crazy.
That shows that we have a shift in the way that we are communicating as men. Because 40 years ago, 50 years ago, that wouldn't have been a conversation.
That's not.
That's not a conversation at all.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I respect and I admire people that can reach out and say, hey, you know, I'm there and this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah. That, I mean, you know, So Tired has been such a success, you know, like just, you know, numbers wise and just, you know, everything from your catalog. But, you know, being that someone that works in the content, you know, all the time and, you know, seeing, you know, and I'm on the social media as well, you know what I'm saying? So I see all these responses. I see all these people like literally saying like, bro, this song like helped me. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's just so epic to like even, it's just even to, and I tell you all the time, we talk on the phone, you know what I'm saying? I tell you, I'm like, bro, it's just still so crazy to see that, you know what I mean? To still see people like, you know, react that way to the song, you know what I mean? Because it's in, and also to put in perspective, and I obviously I don't want to get away from the message too much, but I feel like Tim is also kind of like in his own lane. You know, you're you know, I don't want to say, you know, like anomaly. I think that you're an amazing artist. But I think the way that things have happened for you musically is kind of anomaly like, you know what I mean? Because like I know many artists, especially, you know, out in LA and when I was, you know, here, when I was living here in Atlanta too at the time, where it's like people were just years doing music.
Years. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they have all these, you know, and they'll have that one or two pop out, you know, here and there or whatever on the catalog, but like not like So Tired. You know what I mean? I think it was like the messaging behind it, you know, what you were going through, you know, I think was like a huge part of why it became a success. But also just to say like, you know, I bring up the numbers because in the beginning when we started working with each other, even before So Tired was even made, and like we're getting things going. Like that's the one thing we focus on. Like, oh, it's like the numbers, bro. Keep posting and posting and posting and posting. It's like 200,
hard not to,
200 views, or what. And then it's like you have that one, and then that one, like literally, remember like the TikTok that went to like 200K, and that literally opened the door to all these fans. And then ever since that one reel or the one TikTok from the So Tired, it just like opened the floodgates on. And like that's what people need to understand of artists too, is like you can do it. You can, you just, I know it's so hard to tell people that you can do it. It's so cliche to even say it to fans or artists listening. It's like, I've been doing it. It's like, I know, but it can happen. You just gotta be consistent.
We posted for
a while.
We posted for 6-7 months.
I'd probably say, close to, like 8, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah, we were going hard. We were going hard.
There was nothing coming in.
Yeah, we were going.
This is all financed, personally.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
I know what that feeling of, and I'm putting my everything into this, but I'm not seeing any results.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times because of the misinformation through social media, we see this, like, we see the spotlight and we see the highlights of, everybody's at this top.
Right.
They have
everyone's killing
numbers,
it.
And,
yeah.
It's all this facade. What you don't see is the work they got put in. You know what I mean? The endless posting, the constantly being on live, the keeping up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, we talk about this a lot, but I think, consistency plays a huge role in the reason we are at where we're at today.
Mm-hmm.
And we can look at, the numbers over just the past year, and So Tired has consistently stayed on top.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of shift in TikTok, but So Tired has been that conduit to position us into the next level. And so it's like, you may get one to hit and it will lead the way. That doesn't mean that you quit.
Right.
It's not a moment that you've arrived.
No,
right?
by no means.
We're not there.
No.
You know what I mean? And even if we do get to, numerically a higher level, there's still not an arrival. Because ultimately, this isn't about numbers for me. This isn't about the views. This isn't about the money. And that's why there's no destination. This is about the message. It is strictly about the message. And I think one of the biggest things that I attribute the success just of TimothyMac, the brand, to is, this is my divine purpose. This is what I'm put here to do. And there's no social media platform. There's no naysayer. There's no shadow ban. There's nothing that can stand in the way of your purpose.
Yeah.
As long as you are working in it.
Yeah.
And, that's, we can play consistency all day long, but when you have hard work, determination mixed in with the consistency and the endurance, the overall endurance of posting like we do and keeping up with the socials, along with living directly in your purpose, man, you've got an unstoppable combination of things.
That's making it. That is making it right there in itself.